Today on the channel, no conspiracies here as we finally welcome Jesse the Body Ventura into the Coliseum collection.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Hi, Kyle. Governor Jesse Ventura here, or in the days of wrestling, Jesse the Body Ventura. Thanks for doing this, and I will keep talking till the very end. The only thing that's going to get my mouth to go closed is when I die. So I'll die first, then I'll quit. But anyway, Kyle, hang in there. Be motivated, enjoy life, and enjoy it to the fullest. That's what Jesse Ventura does, and I can tell you it's a recipe for happiness. Good luck, Kyle.
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for a special unboxing here today. As today, we got the Ringside Collectibles exclusive Coliseum collection. First time in the line, Jesse the Body Ventura. But for all your Coliseum collection needs, better hit up Ringside Collectibles. It is a Ringside exclusive after all. Use code Kyle, save yourself 10%. Gotta get a deal out there. And we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And this is an extra special release outside of it being Jesse's first figure. But this is the first Ringside Collectibles exclusive. Only place you're going to get this is Ringside. And instead of historically the 2-packs for the Coliseum collection, single packs this time. Now, King Kong Bundy did ship at the same time as Jesse Ventura. We're going to do that in a separate video. Since they don't feel like a 2-pack anymore, it feels like 2 separate figures. That's the way we're going to do it. And let's be honest, the body needs the spotlight on him and only him. No conspiracies here today as he has joined the Mattel line here at the end of 2025. And I can't wait to see what we get from Jesse Ventura in 2026. Just an amazing time to be a wrestling figure collecting fan, as Jesse is one of my absolute all-time favorites. Absolutely love Jesse and pretty much everything he's ever done. Talk about an entertainer. Very happy to get this one here, and it's like the age-old thing we always say on the channel. Is this the Jesse everybody wanted? I think a lot of us want this, but this isn't necessarily the Jesse we're looking for. A lot of people are wanting some of the crazy announce gears, and we're going to get that in the future. But you don't go hot if you're Mattel with that right off the gate, because then people say, well, got my Jesse, I'm done. Instead, they're like, oh, look at this Jesse. It's a Jesse. I don't know if it's really what I want, but I better get it. And that's what they do. All these companies do that. We've seen that time and time again, and we're seeing it right here in the Coliseum collection. But I'm pretty hyped up. I'm pretty jazzed up about this one. Let's dive into it. Let's see what's going on. And there's no conspiracies here, but we're going to follow the money all the way to the pay window with this one, because you got to imagine it's going to be a big seller for Ringside. Come on, how could it not be? There's old school Jesse Ventura looking like he's getting ready to wrestle a match in Portland. Or you're right, Todd McFarlane, the AWA with that no good Greg Gagne. Oh, that Greg Gagne. He's nothing but trouble, that Greg Gagne. As we do know, we've talked about Power Town, and if I'm not mistaken, didn't Power Town, I think Jesse Ventura signed a Legends deal, and then all that time later finally got a figure and a figure made and to us in the same amount of time it took for Power Town just to announce the wave of the Ultras and all that kind of stuff. Absolutely wild. I mean, it's about the same time, so that tells you what we're dealing with old Greg Gagne and crew over there. And Jesse whipped him into shape once upon a time, as we do know. Very Coliseum collection-like in the packaging here. Little artwork of the body looking interesting. Ultimate Edition over here. And then on the back, another one of Jesse striking a pose for us all. Now, it does got some writing on the top. Win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat. He was way ahead of his time, ahead of Bobby Heenan in a lot of ways, ahead of, yes, Eddie Guerrero a lot of ways. And in the back over here it says, follow the money. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Or maybe it says, I didn't see nothing, Monsoon. Is what it is. I don't know if that one really applies to this Jesse, though. This is wrestling Jesse. This isn't announcer time Jesse. Is what it is, though. But we do open up the box. Got the Coliseum collection. No black card for me, as I can see right here. So I got the blue card. Doesn't really matter for me anymore. I'm out of the double up game on these. I'm okay with either of them because I'm opening them up anyways. But we do get the artwork inside. Looks to be Mattel, friends and family on the inside here. You can see Steve. You can see Bill. You can see all the crew in here. Robert. I even see Ricochet. Yes, you heard it right. Ricochet is in here. I see a little kid holding a Ricochet figure. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Can we edit that out? Can we edit that out? What's it going to take to get me in here? That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to just draw myself in. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a Sharpie over here, or better yet, I'm going to go to one of my daughters. They're both good artists. I'm going to have them draw me in here just for my own collection. Why wouldn't I? But it does say, he didn't see nothing, Gorilla. Always cheat. Tell it like it is. And Jesse made a living of telling it like it is. He said, follow the money. He taught us about many a conspiracy theory over the years. Jesse's a good friend, great friend of the channel. My governor forever. That's what he's going to be. But we're going to dive into old Jesse Ventura, and we'll bring out some comparison Jessies later in this video. Coliseum collection, WWE logo up top there, artwork for Jesse, right out of the LJN style figures, which conveniently enough, Mattel is making LJN figures now, and conveniently enough, in 2026, we're getting an announcer, Jesse Ventura. 2026 could be the year of Ventura. We're going to do a top 5 Ventura countdown. I can smell it. I can smell it in the air. That's what I can. Or what? Yep, you're right. Todd McFarlane, it was my wife's cooking tonight. Yep, she was making food. And she made it with a couple of extra dashes of love tonight. So that was always nice to have. Coliseum collection looking good right there. On the back, we get a little bit of blurbage for old Jesse. And then there's the rest of the Coliseum collection, LJN style down below. Let's see what it says about the body. Jesse the Body Ventura not only has this 268-pound bruiser established himself as one of the top contenders for the WWE title, but he has also become a highly respected ringside color commentator for television broadcast. Fans may not like his wild and wacky outfits. I prefer them. I would wear them every day if I could. His pleasure was all yours attitude, or his choice of champions, or companions, more like that. But the body is a real pro. How about that? It included sunglass, boa, hat, bandana, swappable heads, swappable hands. Playing all the hits right here is what we're doing with old Jesse. And coming in right close to the end of 2025 here is Jesse Ventura Coliseum collection. Off to the side. Gentle see you later, goodbye. That's what we're going to do. Now we do get the box here. Accessories included inside for old Jesse Ventura. And we got all kinds of stuff going on in here. Gonna keep that box, a good looking box there. 2 heads, we got some extra hands here. 2 gripping hands, a fisted hand, and a splayed out hand. Fisted and splayed out, we get it in the package. So we get both of those. We also get a nice new hat for him here. Kind of like a motorcycle hat is what we'll call that. I think of that with Adrian Adonis, and we all remember the East-West connection, don't we? No, Todd McFarlane, nobody remembers the East-West connection. Real ones do. If you're a real one, shout it out in the comments down below, of course. And that's it. Behind the back. See you later. Goodbye. Plastic Jesse the Body Ventura prison. And we're going to cut him out of these twist ties. There's a lot of conspiracy around these twist ties here. And Todd McFarlane on the couch is the one we got to get down to the bottom with on that one. It's unbelievable the amount of twist ties that are populated. Half of the world's twist tie population actually by Todd McFarlane. A little known fact right there. And we're talking just his figures, which is a wild move. Uh-oh, we're locked in down here. However, Mattel, not free of guilt from that either, as we see it in the Masterverse and all the WWE lines. We see a lot of twist ties from them as well. So, twist ties for everyone is what we got going on. And there it is, Skyhook behind the back. See you later, goodbye. All right, Jesse the Body Ventura. Looks like we got a little rubber band action locked up here. Looking very good here on this Ventura. Rubber band, see you later. Cool thing about this is the tights on this, and we'll get to it a little bit more, I believe are the original prototype image of the LJNs once upon a time that we ended up not getting as they changed it, and we'll compare it later on here. We already talked about the hands, talked about the black hat there. I guess let's dive into the head on this one. And we got a rubber band on the head too to hold those glasses in is what we got going on. Well, we got a lot of accessories with Jesse, and let's dive into it. Let's start it off. Now, we get the big boa right here. It's a single boa. We've seen the dual boas with the Hulkster in the past. Single boa right here, red and black attack. Looking good. Looks like Ventura all day long. We do got that skull cap here with a long bandana on the end. We know this. We love it. This is typical Jesse Ventura right here, but you can use this or you can use this. You guys know me. I'm probably going to get a couple more of these and play a little of that long game, play a little of that waiting game. Get another one to display a different look. Maybe one min on card, maybe, possibly. We'll see what ends up happening. But we got this hat here, so you can, ooh, you know, there's two distinct looks for Jesse there each way. So I don't know. Jesse's not a guy that usually goes both ways, from what I've told in our deep conversations. He's not one of those guys, but he will in the hat department from time to time. And he comes a little posed out of the package with his old LJN pose as well. So shout out to that. We're here for that. He's got the wild rock and roll sunglasses of the 80s. Extra wild. Looks a little new wave action to me, but it is red and black attack once again, matching to the bandana. Looking pretty good. But now we're going to dive into it. We're going to dive into Jesse. And Jesse, one guy that's undefeated is that male pattern baldness. Unless you go to Turkey, apparently. But he is bald up there on the top. Got the long blonde hair off to the side. Got two sideburns, as most people do. Most people don't have one sideburn. Save your joke, Todd McFarlane. But he does look a little bit like a young Mike Nesmith in the sideburn department. So the all-timer, that's the measuring stick of sideburns is one Mike Nesmith. Shout out to the Nez there. And he's got a big mustache there, like a young Goose Gossage, of course, from the time. But a determined, kind of angry face on Jesse. Second head here, you got the same hair, same everything going. But he's screaming and yelling. He's got the mouth wide open. Looking good, looks like Jesse Ventura here. This would be a great Jesse to be screaming and yelling into a microphone, which I am absolutely shocked a microphone did not come as an accessory for this one. When you think of the body, you think of him talking on the mic, and apparently he's not going to be talking in the Coliseum collection. Third and final head, he's gritting it and bearing it. This is a time like down in the Baja when he was with the SEALs once upon a time. He's gritting and bearing it there. And a lot of people don't know this, but he was actually recruited to be part of the G.I. Joe team once upon a time. It is very true, as Flint was working that program. Top and front, you know this whole story. We heard it from Jesse's mouth that one time up in, I think it was Brainerd, Minnesota is where we met him that time for lunch. It was a little coffee, and I don't drink coffee, but Jesse did. And Jesse, I remember him. Yeah, I remember that too, Todd. He kept dunking cookies in his coffee. It was a wild time. I don't know. It was a power move by Jesse Ventura. But he told us this lewd tale of him almost joining the Joe team, that Flint came down there, convinced him. He's like, you know what? I should join this team. It sounds like, and this is pre-Sergeant Slaughter, mind you, as well. Jesse, it made sense. He was going to be there. You know, you had Deep Six, you had Torpedo, you had Wetsuit, you had some of these other frogmen out there, part of the team. Jesse was going to fit right in there. He was going to fit right in there. But then came Duke. Yes, Duke walked right into the front door there, and he immediately said, guys, I'm out. He just could tell by the look of Duke that he didn't want any part of this Joe team. What could have been if Duke wasn't on the Joe team and it was Flint in charge of everything from the get-go? We'll never know. We'll never know. But the body would have been there. We do know that. But now diving into the body right here, let's do with the articulation first. Why wouldn't we? Arms all the way around for us. And you got those butterfly shoulders. Arms should be removable, and they are if you want them to be. You do get the bicep cut, double jointed, pinless elbows, playing all the hits. You got the white wrist tape here, then you got the fist of fury, open hand over here. You got the hula hoop up top there, typical Ultimate Edition, always very big on the top portion, but Jesse, a bodybuilder back in the day, as we know. Nice thin waist on him here, of course, waist articulation. Got those big old body splits if you need them. You do got the drop down hips, G.I. Joe classified style if that is your thing. Leg goes up, no Vietnam bounce back, no problems with that. Thigh cut, double jointed, pinless knees, smooth as butter. You know I'm here for that. Boot cut, ankles back, forth, side to side, up and down. And the toe articulation for Todd on the couch. Looking good in the articulation department. But a good old school Jesse the Body Ventura. He's the body after all. Chiseled out of granite, looking really good here. Looking very nice. Now getting down into the pants, very floral, very crazy. Almost looks like shelf lining paper you'd see in your grandma's kitchen when back in the 70s and 80s or something like that. But that was the look once upon a time. But looking good, very floral, very nice. Just beautiful pants on this one. Like this a whole lot. Maroon boots on here. Looking very good with the white laces. An all-timer, this Jesse the Body. Now, I know for a lot of people, when they close their eyes and they think of Jesse Ventura, they usually think of conspiracy theory. Jesse Ventura is what they think of. They think of him with the suit. Isn't that what everybody thinks of? No, you think of the wild outfits probably as an announcer. I could see that too, I guess. Governor, can anybody think of governor? Maybe. High school football coach? A guy with many hats, as we know, but I think most people think of him as an announcer, and I can see possibly a few people, but not very many, skipping on this one because they're waiting for the announcer version. But I feel like you need this version in your collection somewhere. If you're celebrating the history of wrestling, you're celebrating the man, the myth, the legend, the body. Why would you not have this in your collection? What are we doing? Why are we even bringing this up? He does fit on a Mattel ringside collectible stand using code Kyle. Save yourself 10% once again. The body rides again. You know I'm here for this. You know I love Jesse the Body Ventura. So great to have this. Can't wait to pick up a few more of these, a little bit of that long game. But there's old Jesse there, but we do got some Jesse comparisons. How about Jakks Classic Superstar? You know, just like Jesse, I'm a classic guy too. We got the Classic Superstars once upon a time. You got that bandana. You can put it over here if you really wanted to as well. And that actually does work there. So there's some mixing and some matching that could possibly be done if that is your thing. If that is your thing. But looking good here for Jesse. And then the Jesse figure that started it all once upon a time. We got the old school LJN. You know me, I'm an LJN kid as well. First wrestling figures I collected as a kid were the LJNs, and I had this Jesse the Body Ventura. It was always strange to me as a little kid because I only knew him as the announcer. Not till VHS rentals and stuff did you see some matches of Jesse, and still to this day you don't see a ton of Jesse Ventura matches. A lot of them kind of lost to time, it feels like, over the years. But a great Jesse the Body. Missing a microphone. That's really the only miss with this one, unfortunately. Can't believe they wouldn't give him a mic, but it's not the end of the world. I think we've got a few mics over the years. I think we're okay with that. So there it is. Jesse the Body Ventura Coliseum collection. Be interested to hear your thoughts on this, Jesse. You picking this up, you passing, you long gaming, you no gaming. If you're no gaming, get out of here. What are you doing watching this channel? But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Once again, a ringside collectible exclusive. Use code Kyle, save yourself 10%. It's the only place you're going to be able to get it as of right now. Check out both my channels. I got 2 YouTube channels with videos every single day. YouTube channel memberships and Patreon if you want more content. SirPaul64 on the X. _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com. Conveniently enough, the name of my podcast each and every single week. Join my wife and I for The Kyle Peterson Show every single Tuesday wherever podcasts are found with video cast on YouTube. So for Jesse the Body Ventura, follow the money.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?